So some important information. I, 33F, underwent breast reduction surgery for health purposes 2 weeks ago and have been recovering. What this means is that my chest area is very sore and I am very sensitive to things I normally wouldn't be an issue, i.e. driving over a pothole in the road or standing for too long. My partner and I went to one of our favorite diners for breakfast because it was his birthday. I'm not able to do much now while recovering, so I offered to at least pay since he'd have to drive us both. 2 older couples, I would estimate they were in their early 70s, walked into the, very small, waiting area. It was chilly outside, so I don't blame them one bit. However, there was nowhere to sit when they came in. I was sitting in a single chair by the door and normally, I would absolutely offer my seat to one of them out of consideration. However, I remained sitting because due to my recent reduction surgery, standing for too long does, in fact, make my chest sore, and I wasn't sure how much longer I'd be waiting. Now, the way the waiting area is situated, you wait in line rather than put your name down on a wait list. The closer to the door you are sitting or standing, the sooner you get sat. It was a bit confusing when we first came in, but it got explained to us and we took our rightful place at the back of the line. So when a group who was already at the door got up to be seated by the hostess, it opened some space on the bench nearest to the door. Those of us who had already been waiting all started shuffling down the bench in the seating area, moving us closer to the door. However, the elderly group immediately sat down, not knowing they were technically cutting in line. Myself and the other couples tried to politely explain how the queue worked, but one of the elderly women interrupted us by loudly announcing, "Well, you should just let my friend sit because of her age, you know," then gave me a nasty side eye, rolled her eyes and shook her head at her friend as if we should all be ashamed of ourselves. One of the families who was waiting with us tried explaining, again, how the queue was organized, but she wouldn't hear it. I finally said, "I'm sorry, I would have given you my seat, but I'm still recovering from surgery and can't stand for long periods of time. I'm sorry." It got very quiet until, finally, the same lady said, "Well, do you want to sit here?" And I just stopped her and replied, "No, please, I'm fine where I am." We all waited in silence until it was our turn to be seated. Moral of the story, don't assume someone in a seat isn't sitting there because they don't look like need it. I got dressed in a cute outfit and did my makeup because even though I'm recovering from surgery, I want to still look and feel good. I was raised to be considerate and offer my seat to those who are elderly, pregnant, or injured. However, if I'm injured, I have the right to remain in my seat. Please don't assume the worst about OT.